Okay guys, so you're out on track sending an absolute flyer. Car gets a little sideways, you end up in the wall. What do? Do you just bite the bullet, or are there other available options? Let's chat. Okay guys, today we have a special guest with us today. It's Justin from OpenTrack. Justin, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here.
Justin, tell me who you are, what you do.
My name is Justin Steele. I'm the managing partner for OpenTrack Insurance. And we do trackday insurance for HPDE all over the country. We have on-demand policies, annual policies. So we just protect the passion for people to go out on track and have a good time with a worry-free mentality.
It seems you know a lot of people in the community. You know a lot of the right people in the community. So we've been using OpenTrack for, when did you say, since 2019?
Yeah, you guys have been customers of ours since 2019.
Okay, we haven't needed them yet. Hopefully we don't need them anytime soon. At OpenTrack covers high performance driver education events only, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we cover, and we do have some external programs where we can do some competition events, but our primary program is for HPDE, the weekend warrior that wants to get out there, put his car on track and test the limits of a production car, or in some cases even production race cars. We basically cover anything except for open wheel racers.
Got it. So if you're out there with Edge Addicts, Chin Track Days, the Driver's Edge, what did I miss? The local Porsche Club?
Yeah, your local Porsche Club, track nights in America, NASA, SCCA,
Hooked on Driving.
Hooked on Driving, any non-competition weekend, our primary products will cover. So it can be a one-day event, it can be just a half-day event, evening event, and we have hundreds of approved tracks in the United States and Canada. We even have a few approved tracks overseas.
That was my other question. I see you guys have a ton of tracks. Do you know how many are there in total?
Oh man, on the whole list, I think we're a little bit over 400.
And it seems, how many in Canada? Like 10 or?
I think, we've got 12, I think, in Canada right now.
Wow.
So, and that's, we're one of the few that actually do that for our US-based customers that want to take their car over the border and drive up.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? There's some great tracks up there, so why not?
So regarding coverage, the last thing I want to speak to you, and that's because a lot of people ask me, or a lot of people still wonder, is you know how NASA does their time trials with HPDs? It's the same event, but it's two different things. Will you cover the HPD portion of a event like that?
So it's a tricky question to answer. In most cases, we don't do, if it's a competition weekend, we don't do coverage on that particular weekend for that particular event.
Okay.
NASA does run HPDE only sessions.
I've seen
and
that.
They do run HPDE only events, in which case we do offer coverage in those events. So
awesome.
It just becomes kind of a muddy line for us when, they're at a track weekend and there's also competition happening. We don't want to make it confusing for our clients.
Okay, so my next question is, can a person, where this comes from is, can a person who owns a $10,000 Miata that they want to cover, right, 10,000 with mods, and to another person who owns a $500,000 race car or street production car, from what amount to what amount do you cover?
So our minimum coverage is about $30,000.
Okay.
And then our maximum coverage is $500,000. We offer coverage in a multitude of ways. You can do what we call our day or on-demand policy, which is anywhere from 1 to 4 track days, where you just say, hey, this weekend I want to go to the track and drive my car. You can pull up our website. It takes about and no exaggeration, about 2.5 to 3 minutes to purchase a policy. It's super easy, super intuitive. Just enter the track, enter your car, gives you a price, you purchase the insurance. For our on-demand policies, we also offer $1 million in liability for basically $75 a day or $150 for a weekend, which is an extremely important coverage that we offer. And that goes all the way up to $500,000. We cover most brands. The only brand we don't cover is Ferrari. We do have a program for Ferraris. It's just not through our primary website. You can reach out to us directly, and we can take care of your Ferrari through a different program that we have. And then we have a second insurance program for the guys I would say are the devout enthusiast. If you go to the track more than 7 times a year, we have an annual track program. Just like your regular insurance policy, you pay one premium for the entire year, and you can go to as many track days as you want to. And we also don't limit the number of cars you can have on there. So you pay, for instance, if you have let's say a $400,000 GT3 RS, and you also have a $30,000 Miata, your premium would be for the $400,000 GT3 RS, and then you can add the Miata for just $150 additional for the entire year.
Wow.
So, and you can do that as many times as you want, as long as the cars that you add are less expensive than the GT3 RS. If you added a car more expensive than the GT3 RS, let's say like a $500,000 car, like a 765 LT, at that point, then the premium would be based on the 765 LT, and the GT3 RS would become $150 for the whole year. So we have a lot of really flexible options to really tackle this type of coverage for the true enthusiast, and also for the guys that are just looking to get out to the track and have a little fun and test it out, but want to have the peace of mind that if they do make a mistake, or they have a mechanical failure, or that leads to an accident, they have that coverage.
Got it. And he is absolutely not kidding. I've had friends of mine who are in the driver's meeting and say, crap, I forgot to throw the track insurance on the car. So they'll be on their phone at the driver's meeting, typing it all in. They show it to me and I'm like, ugh, that's rough.
Yeah.
But it's honestly very necessary. Definitely one of those things, right, that if you have it, you won't need it. But if you don't have it, especially at a track like COTA, right, or a few tracks out here that have walls and everything.
I think it's that old saying that, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Absolutely.
You do this long enough. We were just talking about, before we started filming, we were talking about Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton wrecks every now and then, right? Mistakes happen.
Best driver, one of the best drivers in the world.
One of the best drivers in the world. Charles Leclerc, all these famous drivers, they all make mistakes, and nobody is above. You can't outskill a mechanical failure, right? Brakes fail sometimes, tires fail, and that can lead to an accident. So you can be the best driver in the world and still have an accident. And then, the third part of that is you're not driving the other cars that are on track with you. Absolutely. You don't know the other skill levels of the other drivers. You don't know how well maintained their cars are. And as we all know, when you're on track, it's, you're responsible for your own car. If someone runs into you, it's your responsibility to fix your own car. So, track insurance is something that just really gives people the peace of mind to be able to go have a good time, and know that if something does happen, okay, my baby's going to be fixed, and we're gonna let you choose your shop. We're gonna let you choose your mechanic. It's all brand new OEM parts. We don't do any used parts or anything like that. And I think if you talk to any of our clients that have been through a claim with us, they come back over and over again because it's an easy process, and we put the focus on getting them back on track.
All that being said, guys, go out there, track with confidence, as Open Track has your back. If you guys need their information, it's going to be down below. Before you guys go, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next one.